developments with weapons and the personal armor was not associated with us.
As the Coutts border crossing clears, organizers trying to distance themselves from what could have been.
Biggest thing for me, and I think for the group, is let's prove this was not violent. And I want a thorough, deep investigation into these gun charges.
Guns, ammo, and body armor seized when RCMP arrested 11 people in a pre-dawn Tuesday morning raid, with charges ranging from mischief, weapons offenses, and conspiracy to commit murder. Police alleging connection to an organized group said to have a willingness to use force against police if any attempts were made to disrupt the blockade. Although RCMP have not commented on what group, these patches stood out for the Canadian Anti-Hate Network.
Diagolon is a group that, it started off almost as almost a joke, but has become kind of a quasi-militia with individuals engaged in weapons training, basically based on an imaginary country that extends from Alaska to Florida.
The Anti-Hate Network will be watching to see how these patches play into the larger story of the arrests at Coutts, saying they classify Diagolon as accelerationists.
Who believe that by accelerating the downfall of society by way of assassinations, violent attacks, they would bring about their, ethno-state. So it's been co-opted by groups. It's not surprising that we're seeing this in Canada.
Counterterrorism expert Mubin Sheikh says there's been a rise in far-right accelerationists in Canada. Just last October, a former Army reservist from Manitoba, Patrick Matthews, was sentenced to 9 years for what the FBI says was his role in trying to trigger a race war with accelerationist group The Base. For Diagolon, their de facto leader is also ex-military. And in a Tuesday night live stream from Ottawa, Jeremy McKenzie addressed the arrest.
Your thoughts, keep the boys in Alberta. They got arrested. We haven't heard from them. We don't know what's going on. There's some rumors they're getting charged with some heavy
He's somebody of concern because the rhetoric he's been using is very accelerationist. The idea that, the idea of taking advantage and looking for opportunities to kind of essentially fill in the gap if there's some sort of societal collapse and kind of hoping and helping it to move along.
RCMP in Coutts arrested 2 more people on top of those initial 11, one for attempting to ram police vehicles and another arriving at the protest with guns. For Sheikh, he'll be watching for more charges.
The threat of violence and the threat or actual use of violence against government in an effort to overturn its policies, that's literally the definition of terrorism.
And curious if the U.S. will be involved, given what could have been so close to the border.